Okay, we're looking at problem 6 from section 1-6. It says using an absolute value inequality. Car racing. In car racing, a car must meet specific dimensions to enter a race. Officials use a template to ensure these specifications are met. What absolute value inequality describes heights of the model of race cars shown within the indicated tolerance? So here we know that the least allowable height for the race car is 51 inches, and the greatest allowable height is 53 for the race car. The desirable height for the race car is 52, but we want to stay between 51 and 53. So the tolerance will be 51 minus 53 minus 51, and we should get a tolerance of 1. So, and another way of looking at this, the difference from 52 to 51 is 1, and the difference from 52 to 53 is also 1. So if we use h for the height of the h car, we can write a compound inequality. So we know h minus 52 has to be greater than 1, or it has to be, less than 1, less than or equal to 1, or it has to be greater than or equal to negative 1. If we write this as an absolute value inequality instead, because when we have an absolute value inequality, we end up with two equations anyway, we just say the absolute value of h minus 52 is less than or equal to 1. So we can use that same concept with God is 6. It says suppose the least allowable height of the race car in problem 6 is 52 inches. So instead of it being 51, it's 52. And I've written it here. This is my least. Excuse my handwriting. It's hard to write on these boards. And the desirable height is 52.5. So here's my desirable height. What is the absolute value inequality that describes the model of the race car shown within the indicated tolerance? So we can already assume that my 53 is my the highest that it can be. And I'm assuming this because I know that I want these two distances to be equal. And so that means if I know that this distance from here to here is 0.5, then this distance from here to here has to also be 0.5. So 0.5 plus 52.5 gives me 53. Okay, so now going back to my problem, again, I know that my when I make an absolute value inequality, I have h minus 52.5 is less than or equal to, and here's my amount, 0.5. I don't want 0.5. I don't want it to be I don't want 0.5 I don't want my distance to be less than or equal to 0.5 or negative 0.5. Oops. So therefore, when I make an inequality, or my absolute value inequality, I get h minus 52.5 is less than or equal to 0.5. And I know that's true because whenever I make an absolute value inequality, I get those two different equations. I get h minus 52.5 is less than or equal to 0.5, or h minus 52.5 is greater than or equal to negative 0.5. So that's the exact same thing that I have here. I hope this helps.